Yo, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream with yours truly, JR14. Extremely happy to have you guys here along with me. I hope that you guys are staying safe during coronavirus. I hope you guys are, being safe during protesting, Black Lives Matter, and I support that movement. So make sure that you please make sure that you do that safely, and spread your and express your opinion safely, right? So today, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about a number of different things, things that have been done to Project Mark 7, what I'm currently doing with Project Mark 7, and ideas of what I may have in the future for Project Mark 7. And as well as also talking about looking at a new daily driver. I'm looking for something cheap, fun to drive, something that is pretty cool. Um, but I just need something just to drive in for now. So we're going to be talking about all that. And obviously, of course, if you guys have questions for me, you always make sure that you pop your questions in. I'll make sure to respond to them as the conversation goes about. But first, before we get started, make sure you continue to give this video a thumbs up. Continue giving this video a thumbs up because the amount of likes that I get is also due to the fact of making sure that we get amazing content going on. So, with that being said, I actually should place you guys a little higher here. Let's see if I can do that without. eh, yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that's good. Cool. All right. So, um, first order of business, I want to just quickly talk about ECS tuning for a little bit. As you guys already know, they are doing a virtual. They call it a VR or a virtual car show for ECS tuning. Yours truly, JR14, will be one of the judges for ECS tuning. That is this Friday at I believe 4 p.m. Eastern time. So please make sure that you get your phones out. Make sure I'm going to be streaming it. They're going to be streaming on their end, but I'm also going to be streaming it and sharing it on my YouTube platform as well. I will put an update for that tomorrow. I will confirm with information with the guys over at ECS to make sure what time frame, so that this way you guys can watch it, and then I can save it for you guys and you guys can watch it later. I really do hope that you guys watch that because it's kind of cool. It's ECS considered me one of the people that they would love for me to judge people's vehicles that they entered into this show. No, my car's not going to be in this show. I mean, obviously that would be a little bit biased, me being a judge, but I think that'll be really, really cool. And I really want, obviously, all of you guys in here have German cars or want German cars or definitely know about ECS tuning. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. DM ECS to find out more information about it as well. I will put up something tomorrow, just reminding you guys that it's going to be on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I believe it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern time or Central time. I don't know exactly. I'll confirm that on Thursday with you guys, and I will be one of the judges in the live stream doing this virtual car show judging. So I'm honored. Thank you, ECS, for allowing me to be one of the judges for that. I'm stoked. I'm happy. I love ECS. They're like family to me, and yeah, it's gonna definitely be pretty cool, right? So I cannot even describe how awesome this is gonna be. That's the first thing. So yeah, so now you guys know that. Check on my Instagram for current updates, more frequent updates. That is JR14YT. Majority of you guys follow me, but I have 14,000 followers or subscribers on my YouTube channel, but I only have almost 3,500 on my Instagram. So obviously, a lot of you guys don't know that I'm on Instagram. JR14YT. Go ahead and check me out there. I always said it in every live stream. I like using my phone. It's very easy to use. So if it looks like I'm not looking directly at the camera, it's because it's the face screen. I am working on a podcast type of setup. I do want to talk a little bit about that. Now, I spoke this before. What's happening with the channel? What other content I'm going to come out with? Yes, Project Mark 7 is pretty much almost done. And do I have extra plans for you on that? Absolutely. And I'll talk about that last. But what I want to talk about first is I want to talk about specific topics, like what is a tune? What type of tunes can you get for your Volkswagen? I want to talk about what different styles of tunes are there, meaning like piggyback or full flash or e-tuning or dyno tuning. I want to talk about the different companies that offer tuning for the Mark 7 or Mark 7.5 platform. I definitely want to have that conversation. It's not going to be more of a live. It's definitely going to be more of an illustrated video. I want to do more research. I'm doing more research and writing notes down as I go. So I want to make sure that I provide that content for you guys in one full bunch of information, one video, basically. Not too boring, but pretty much to the point. I will talk about the tune that I have, why I use my tune, as well as other options that you may have and the benefits of each. I won't be bashing any of the other companies, but obviously I'm with somebody else, but that's not really a big deal. But I'm just letting you know you can expect that. Another thing that you're gonna expect, like I said, I've been talking about this a long time, and it's long overdue. I filmed the first one and I still haven't posted it yet. It's called JR14 Car Talks. I want to talk with random enthusiasts, friends of mine, people that I've seen at the shop. Maybe if they want to have a quick sit down, maybe like a 30-minute conversation, an hour conversation, and just just shoot the breeze a little bit with just random car conversations, type of cars that they like, why do they like those type of vehicles, also, just pretty much cool things all out and about, right? So I really want to be able to express my knowledge for cars, but also I want to have other people's knowledge of cars. I know Quick Tool is Keith. He definitely wants to get involved with it. I know Gio from European Auto. We already filmed that already. I'm still working out the kinks with that. And I want to shoot a bunch of people. I have a bunch of friends who I can sit down with and have a car talk with. Calvin being one of them. My boy David. It's okay. He has my NYC culture. My Culture NYC, I believe it's called. And I definitely want to get that underway for you guys. Yeah. So the good thing is that I'm going to be looking up because I have the questions in front of me here, and I'm going to be looking down like as the actual camera. So if I'm looking really weird on camera, just bear with me. But you'll be expecting that. Now, I do want to go over some of the features of my Cobb Access port, which I really haven't explained before in before in videos, and I want to do them really live. Kind of like what each feature does, how to engage each feature, what is so significant about Cobb. I'm going to talk about Cobb in a separate video completely. I think that'd be kind of cool. Also, what I want to do is I want to talk about, I went over the engine rebuild series already. I am going to be doing a full video on my EQT experience. If you guys don't know what EQT is, EQT is short for equilibrium tuning. Obviously, as you guys know, if you follow my Instagram, you know that I've been doing revisions back to back with EQT to set up a pro tune with the car with the Litco L500 Turbo, as well as the Litco L500 Turbo, as well as with the built motor and all the modifications I've done to it. EQT is definitely a cool tuner out in California. Shout out to Ed Suman. Shout out to Nick Tuner, who's actually the tuner who's actually tuning my car. And if you watched my Instagram earlier today, you would have seen that we're currently right on revision 9. I actually, after this live stream, I'm going to be sending him that data log that I did today. That data log I did in Mexico. So, but that you're going to expect. Also, I want to talk about the crank walk issue. Teach you guys about what is crank walk. I want to talk about what is crank walk, how does it happen, what cars does it happen on, how come Volkswagen hasn't offered it as a manufacturer defect factory recall, and I definitely want to go through with that, my experiences with it. So basically, I wouldn't say my opinion, but my experience. But yeah, so you're going to be expecting that. Now, Project Mark 7, as you guys already know, like I said just before, I've pretty much built the motor on the bottom end. I haven't done the head yet. That is something I want to do in the future. I'll be working with integrated engineering on fully doing a built head for that application. Also, that's titanium valves and titanium valve springs and valves and new exhaust valves and all that stuff. So I'm gonna be setting that up for that. So I can rev higher. My current RPM rev range right now is, I believe, 71, 7,200 RPM, which is extremely high. I do believe it's because of the fact that my cylinder head is from a Mark 7.5. There are some differences, slight differences in the cams, and also the head itself on a cylinder head on a Mark 7.5. Very minor issues, not to something where you cannot use a Mark 7 head on it. Currently right now, like every time I start the car in the cold, I get like ticking noises, and that's because I have bad lifters on the cars. And I do want to, when I rebuild the head, obviously I'm going to be doing new valve springs, new valves, and I will be ordering new lifters from Volkswagen. So literally everything is going to be completely redone in that aspect, which means the timing would have to be done over again. But then this way, I probably will do it at like the median. Right now, I probably put about 8,000 miles on the built motor, which makes sense because the car was done in December. It's almost January. I'm sorry. I've done it in December and it's almost July, not January. um but yeah, so that's what I currently want to do with that. Also, with the EQT tune, I will talk about more about it in depth in the video when it comes out, but I'm running into fueling issues in a nutshell. Not fueling issues in a bad way. Fueling issues meaning I'm running on a stock. I'm rerunning. I do have an upgraded Autotech higher pressure fuel pump, and also I have a Walbro 525 low pressure pump. The issue I'm running into is that the way that this was described to it, or what I was told, I thought, considering the fact that I'd be running about a 500 wheel horsepower setup, that I would want to get the better fuel pump, so I don't have to do it twice or order a part twice. I'd rather not do that. So that came about, and unfortunately, I think I'm running on the stock. I think I'm starting to run out of fuel, and my tuner's noticing that, and Nick from EQT is noticing that. And right now, we're just trying to find a happy medium for the car when, at one, it's still fun, and two, it's still safe. I'm not going to sacrifice pushing the car over exceeding the controller and not being able, and then just pushing it to its max, pushing it to its max and everything else, and then something goes wrong. But don't worry, I know you guys are asking me questions. Don't worry, I'm going to be asking. I'm going to be answering those questions later in the video. But just keep them coming. Keep them coming in. If you have questions, please, I encourage you to type those questions in. If you want me to stop, do a super chat, and that will stop me from what I'm talking about, and I will literally specifically answer that question. Or unless if you want to wait to the end, that's perfectly fine. It's not going to be long, but so yeah. So I did that on. So the way I set up the fuel was on purpose. I wanted upgraded pumps for sure because that's the time-consuming part. But I wanted to still run on stock injectors on direct injection setup. And I also wanted to see what the car can do on a stock controller without running into overvoltage issues or overheating issues with the controller. Now, if I'm going to start running into issues with it, the first thing that I will be changing, I don't know when. I'm trying to hold off to get the tune finalized for just this year, and then hold off and just enjoy the car for the summer before putting it under the knife all over again. Is the PM4 Torque Bite fuel controller. It's an upgraded controller that can take much of a higher voltage, so that the Walbro 525 that's in the tank can run at its full capacity. Now, after that issue is resolved, I still run into the issue of, I'm pushing more fuel from the high pressure fuel pump, pushing more fuel from the low pressure pump in the tank, but now I'm still running on a stock injector. So now I want to be able to go to multi-port injection, and that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing in the future. I definitely want to do. I'm definitely going to be going multi-port injection in the future. I most likely will be getting the kit from Precision Raceworks, which is, I believe, is their 980cc kit. That's all this car really needs. And then I will be at the capacity to run E85 in the car. right now I'm experiencing a little bit of knock, and the reasoning for that is for a few reasons. One, fuel, right? That's the first problem. Second is that I'm not running the right spark plugs in the car. I'm supposed to be running NGKs. I'm running a Denso IHK 24 that gap to point 0.020 gap. I was having misfire issues up top was because of the fact that at high boost, which is near red line or like around 5,500 RPM, it literally the boost would blow the spark out, and then I would have no spark and causing the misfire. So I will eventually switch to NGKs. And I'll be getting them from FCP Euro because of the lifetime warranty, because those plugs are not cheap, right? Retailing at about $149. So, or $139. They're expensive. My Denso one-step colder plugs are $40 for all four. Now I'm looking at about $139. But the good thing about that is that with SCP Euro, they have lifetime warranty on all their parts. That includes brakes, that includes oil. And I'm not sponsored by SCP Euro, but for the more expensive components that I need to replace OEM, I would do the SCP Euro just because they're free replacement. Now, I am going to be doing that. Now, I can't talk about this next thing too much, but just know that the car is going to be changed cosmetically. I know I just did a wrap and everything like that. We're not exactly sure when. I say we because it's a partnership between multiple companies and myself that are going to be doing some cool things. I'll give you a couple of hints. One, it's going to be their names are on the car. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. I really want to hold that to my heart really quickly, just because of the fact that I know that that's going to be really, 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 really interesting for you guys once you see that available. I'm sorry if you hear the wind noise. Literally, this AC unit does not work, and I literally have to have this fan on because I have the door closed so I can isolate sound. And if you guys can hear that popping in the background, it's either one or two things: people blowing fireworks, which makes no sense because it's nowhere near the 4th of July, or two, literally people going up and down the highway with pops and bangs, because that seems to be the common thing today. Who am I to argue? I have it on my car. Now, there is going to be some drastic changes to the Project Mark 7 later on. And once I do that, that is going to lead me into the next topic. That's going to lead me to get another car. At that point, it's not the fact that I will not be able to drive the Project Mark 7 every day. It's just for the fact that I don't want to drive the Project Mark 7 every day for how flashy it's going to be and how priceless it's going to be. So I'd rather have another car to replace that. Well, I'm sorry. To have along with that as more of like a DIY, something that because I do want to learn about cars even more. I did a lot of research and I became comfortable to the point where I can talk about the product and I can talk about the platform at a higher level. And a lot of you guys look up to me for that, and I really do appreciate it. Before we continue, make sure that you continue giving this video a thumbs up. There's 18 of you watching right now. There's only 9 thumbs up. So if you could please do me the privilege of going ahead and giving this video a thumbs up, and then we can continue on. There we go. That's 10. I at least want to see 15. Come on. Let's get some more people in here. You know I like to do this. Come on. That's 10. Ain't nobody know. Okay, 12. All right. It's not that. Come on. We got 3 more. We got 20 people. Okay, we got 20 people watching. 13. I need two more thumbs up. I can't count. 2 more thumbs up. 14 and okay, there we go. 17. All right, I will continue. Thank you, guys. That doesn't mean you stop though. That means you keep continuing doing it as I'm talking. You keep giving this video a thumbs up as I'm talking. But thank you. All right. So, I'll give you another hint since you. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit. I'll tell you one of the companies that it will be with if you give me up to 20 thumbs up real quick. I know I'm asking for a lot. A lot of people won't even. People just like, come on, man, talk, bro. You won't give me the 18. So you're not gonna give me the 20 thumbs up? There's 18 of y'all watching. 17 thumbs up. We need to get to 20. 20. Wow. I want to know who's the guy that took the thumbs up away. That's mean. I've never seen that for. That's actually mean. Um, okay, so I will tell you anyway. So pretty much one of the companies that I will be working with is with the shirt that I have on. Aerofab. Who's Aerofab? If you have a Mark 7 and you don't know who Aerofab is, you are living under a rock. They make aero kits, street edition stuff for the Mark 7, the Mark 7.5, and later models. They are working on in development with other models as well. They're based out of, I think, Sanford, North Carolina, and Rich is near and dear to my heart, and he literally cares about the quality. So I really, really appreciate him with that. If you want Aerofab products, you can go to aerofab.com. You can go to ECS Tuning. You can go to New German Performance. You can go to ShopDAP. You can go to Euro Tuning. I think Euro Tuning sells it. I don't know for sure, but if they do, but yeah. So that's some things that I want to do. So like I said, as the car gets more flamboyant and the car becomes more, I would say, track focused. If you guys didn't count it as track focused already, um, now we're going to go into the realm of looking for a daily driver. I want to go through that process with you. I want to show you the good. I can. Here's my thing, right? And I'm bouncing back and forth between cars and a bunch of cars that I like. I have a friend that has a 335 that he has for sale, and I think that'll be cool. Problem is, 335s are still fairly new and parts are still fairly expensive. So I was thinking about, and it's easy to get, like a old Honda Civic, right? It's easy to do that. It's easy to get a Civic that'll run, be reliable. It just needs oil. You barely even have to do that, and it will just run. Great. The problem with that is that it's not going to be good content for the channel. Uh, I want something that's still somewhat fun to drive, something that my girlfriend can drive. If it can be, I want something that I can put mods into it, but mainly something cosmetic, maybe a little bit of performance, nothing too wild, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. Um, but I kind of want something. So, like I said, I found a $500 Honda Civic the other day. That car's pretty rough, no lie. I mean, it's clean for what it is. It's EG 94 Honda Civic EX because it has the power windows and stuff. All the windows work. I would have to get a new cushion for the back seat because he said his dog barfed in the back seat, which is okay. I wouldn't clean it. I probably would just take the seat out and pop a new one in. And basically, it wasn't a bad car. So the other thing is, I was looking at, shout out to Raj, right? Because Raj was telling me, get something like a Lexus. And Lexuses are cool. I like Lexus. Lexus is a great brand. Nothing wrong with it. Obviously, they are pretty much backed by Toyota. Something of the LS 400 round or a GS 300 or 400. The second gen, the LS would be the first, the second, first or the first generation LS, or the second generation, which is the first generation with a facelift, I think. And that's what I'll be looking for. But I don't think that's really good content for the channel. There's not a lot to do with them. They'll get the job done of being a daily driver, but I don't think people would appreciate that type of car on the channel, and I don't think it will do well. So another car that I was really thinking about that I think you guys would enjoy. I actually talked. Shout out to James Rigsby. He actually was James Rigsby was my uh he actually is my rep. He's a BMW marketing representative for ECS Tuning and cars because my mom owned one back in the day when they were brand new, and that is the E39 chassis 5 series. Now, I don't think I have BMW E39 M5 money, even though that would be absolutely freaking amazing to have an E39 M5. But I don't think that's going to be where I'm going with this. I think what I would do is that I think I would try to find a manual 528, and I would try to do little cosmetic stuff, fix it up lately, make sure everything's running properly, do all the maintenance stuff. Um, Buy one that's pretty clean. I preferably would want one that's under 100,000 miles or 120,000 miles the most. Um, I preferably would want one that is probably not a 2002 or 2003, from 2001 and below. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that an E39 528 or 530 would do great for the channel? The only reason why I wouldn't be looking at a 540 is just because of the fact that a 540 has timing issues, and I don't want to pay a big money job for timing on a 540 on a high mileage motor. The 528s and the 530s, all the research that I've been doing so far, pretty much a bulletproof platform, right? So, you know, I really want to be able to find something like that that's relatively extremely cheap. But I've been looking at that because I would like a sedan. I've always loved that body style. E39 in the 5 Series trim has been my favorite by all. They all have timing issues. Not so much the 528 and not so much the 530. They're actually rare. They're bulletproof motors. I believe it's the M52 motor that's in them, and they're pretty bulletproof from what I've heard. Now, obviously the 6-cylinder will be a little easier to work on. I want to get a car that I can learn stuff myself on, and I like German vehicles, and I want to be able to stick within a German car. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, Jay, you live in New York. What about the snow? I will buy snow tires. I will buy snow tires for the car if that was the issue. And if I don't know a specific issue, I know European Auto, one, won't beat me over the head with a price, and two, they're very familiar with that engine and they can easily do the timing with no problems at all. So worst comes to worst, um, you know, this, that, and the third, that will be what it will be. I think that'll be a kind of a cool daily. Get some Alzors for it, get some lowering springs for it. Get it really looking really clean. That's why I really want to try to find a clean example, body wise, so I don't have to sand and paint the body over and anything like that. And I really just want to be able to car for the channel. I'm looking to get the car right now, which is better for me because I would get a better deal on one. Now, looking at Autotempest.com, I found one in California, a 2002 BMW 530i with 89,000 miles, only one odor, new tires, new fuel pump, new battery. Oh, starts up but not driving. I'm trying to see. Great car for someone who has time to fix it. I'm sure this is something minor. I mean, the paint's kind of like gone on it too. I mean, it's been just sitting in the sun. So I don't know about that one. But about 3 grand. But I've seen some for really cheap. I've seen some for about, I don't know what the cheapest price is. So roughly around $3,000, $4,000 you can get one. I found a really good clean one, 2002 BMW 530i with the sports pack. It's white, which is a very rare color to find in an E39. And it's got 152,000 miles on it. It's been very well taken care of, it looks like. And the car runs. It's an automatic. I wouldn't mind having an automatic just because of where I live. And the front's kind of like, the front bumper just needs to be repainted. And I really wouldn't care about that. I probably would but the interior is immaculate. And I think this is a very good, where is this car at? What license plate was on it? Is that Ohio? It is Ohio. Oh, I was just talking to James about this yesterday. He told me never buy a car from Ohio, and he's kind of right. Um, but yeah, I'm not going into the whole specifics of looking for the car today. I mean, it's specifically just looking at them and just being like, okay, this is kind of cool, this is kind of nice. I think that'll be kind of cool for the channel, and then I can kind of make it into look like an M sport package car, and then just having a good time with it. That's all I really want from the car. And I like luxury. I mean, I have a Volkswagen that has luxury features. I've had Accords that were all fully loaded before with leather and navigation units, and heated seats. So for me, this is kind of something that I want to learn about. I do love that platform. They're pretty stout for what they are, and I think that'll be kind of cool to experience. But going back to the top, and I'm gonna work my way down. And if we have any other questions, then we can ask. Eval79 says, Queens. I said, yes, I am from Queens. Um, Justin said, yo, 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 yo. The NS family said, give me a, like something like this. And thank you. JP95, what's going on, man? SK8 man flip. How did you learn about cars? I think it's just it's not necessarily me learning about cars, but I'll answer that question. It's main reason. It's just the main aspect of I've always been into cars ever since I was a kid, and I always used to read the Car and Track. Wow, see, I'm mixing the magazines up. I used to read the Car and Driver, the Road and Track. I to this day read and watch Motor Trend. And I do a lot of research on new platforms. I look at new cars when they come out. I go to the New York International Auto Show every single year. I brush up on my knowledge about the new cars coming out because that's what I'm into. I'm always into the fact of looking at what new cars come out, the engine technology in them, how efficient is the motor, how efficient is the new power delivery. I love the transition from all the M actually aspirated big V8s or V10s, and now they fell into the era of all those cars went into smaller engine displacements with turbochargers or superchargers, but mainly turbocharging, how they compete against each other with that. Now all cars are pretty much turbocharged. Basically, the new Civics and Accords are turbocharged. Volkswagen's been turbocharging cars a lot. They don't offer, I don't think they offer a naturally aspirated car anymore. No, they don't. Yes, I'm lying. They do. Six and anything. If you get the 3.6 liter Atlas, that comes, or the Atlas Cross Sport, I think that's what it's called. Um, but yeah, you do have options with that. But Audi, all turbocharged motors. I mean, there's some that are supercharged, but that's just simply the case. But literally, there's a lot of variants. BMW turbocharges all their cars now. When they used to be naturally aspirated 6 cylinders, now they're turbocharged 4 cylinders. It's just the way of the future. You can get more power more efficiently with less displacement, excuse me, and a turbocharger. So finding stuff about that and learning about cars really always fascinated me. Every single year when cars are debuted, and I seen the evolution of like the 3 Series and seeing the evolutions. I was born in '89, so seeing the first M3 and evolving it into the E30 M3 and evolving it into the F80 M4. It's a huge history, right? It's a beautiful evolution, and once your enthusiasm is as high for cars, you learn more about them. You take the time out to learn more about them. My girlfriend knows I know a lot about cars. I don't love when people argue with me. I remember I was at a car meet a long time ago, and one of my friends told me, one of my friends told me, like, yo, um, that's a sport. I was like, like a Honda Accord Sport comes with the V6 wheels, the older Accord Sports, not the newer one. Comes with the more premium wheels, but and it comes with the dual exhaust, but that doesn't mean it's a V6. And he was arguing with me. He's like, no, it's not your wheels, but an Accord Sport is not a V6. This was the ninth generation Accord. Um, and I explained to him, no, I can guarantee you. And then we went over to the guy, said, hey, my friend this guy doesn't understand that the Sport is a four cylinder. Can you pop your hood? And he popped his hood and it was a four cylinder. So stuff like that I like. I don't like controversy, but I love when people tell me I'm wrong and then I can prove them wrong. So that's just how I learned about cars. I've learned about cars along the way. I know what car, I can tell you what type of car, what type of sound it is. I want to do a video on that too. Um, and just pretty much get a cool idea on it. The Chris's said, what intercooler were you rocking in the MK7? Well, I still have the MK7, but the current intercooler that I have in it is an integrated engineering factory located upgraded intercooler. And literally my IATs have been always low. Like even today, it was 83 degrees with humidity in New York City. And if anyone lives in New York City, you know how hot it was today. And literally my IATs are at 90 degrees, which is phenomenal for the type of day it is. And literally I can run on track a bit earlier today. And literally I could run that car on a track all day and it will stay at 90 degrees until I let off, of course, and you just sit idling like in traffic. Then it starts to heat up. Once you push some air through the entire system, once that turbo starts to spool again, it literally brings those IATs right back down. So that's the intercooler that I'm running. I would highly suggest it. Miles Logan, thanks for streaming in. Love these. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the love, man. Pin Alloy Auto Accessories. If you guys have not noticed, he says, how do you like the steering wheel cover? If you guys have not noticed my steering wheel cover, check on my Instagram, JR14YT. You will see that I stitched the steering wheel cover myself. It's been holding up well. No issues. Obviously, I did a really crappy job of doing it. I kind of really want to get another one so I can redo it because I know that I can do a much better job. It doesn't seem to fit. I've never wrapped a steering wheel before, so that may be my fault. And Pin Alloy says I'm the best. No, Pin Alloy, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm very humble, though. I'm not the best. If I was the best, I'll be over 1 million subscribers by now. But I do appreciate the love and support that you have given the channel and given me. And your words have always been an inspiration. So thank you very much, Pin Alloy, for those words. Nemisio Nadin, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. How do you feel about stacking piggybacks over Canned Toons? I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it and I don't like it. The reason why I say I don't like it, yeah, you can get better numbers out of it. That's been proven. The only problem is you're really, really pushing the car above what it's supposed to be doing at that point. And then other stuff can break, and now you have two platforms that could have caused it. It could have been the JB4, which you're probably talking about the stack. I know a lot of people do APR Stage 3 with a JB4 stack. Just custom tune the car. Why do that? If you get a tuner that can tune the car correctly with full max to the max, the first time around you wouldn't need a piggyback. So now think about it this way. If you stack a JB4 on top of a car that's already tuned, you're flashing all the parameters to be higher, right? So higher boost levels, higher fuel, higher air ratios, correct? Okay, great. So everything's greater. Now the ECU is used to seeing those numbers because it's a program. It's been flashed. Now you're manipulating those numbers against the piggyback because now the piggyback is manipulating the tuned numbers, not the OEM numbers. So I say this, if you have a setup that's custom, like something similar like mine, and you want to get the most power out of it, get the car tuned, get a tune that supports that platform, put it on a dyno, do e-logging, do whatever you have to do, and get the car tuned with one tune. Don't do this JB4 stacking stuff like that, because then that's when you're asking for problems. In my opinion, that's when you're asking for problems. I know a guy who had a Golf R, had an APR Stage 3, and then did a JB4 stack. He made like 500 something wheel. A week later, blew the motor. So is it worth it? Not worth it. Miles Logan, thoughts on the 2020 Arteon shooting brake? Too bad we won't get it in the States. I've never even heard of it. Okay, hang on a second. Let's 2020 Volkswagen Arteon shooting brake. Ooh, I like that. Ah, I like that. I'm trying to find the actual shot of it. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera really quickly so you guys can see what it looks like. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. That looks so good. I think Volkswagen should do that. And the reason why I think they should do that is because they already brought the RS6 to the United States, right? Not everybody has $150,000. Not everybody has $150,000. This would be perfect. I would totally lease that. I would rock that. And even so, I like the regular Arteon. Me personally, if it was me, I really like the sedan aspect of it better. I mean that the shooting brake looks really, really, really good. I don't know if Volkswagen will offer it. They might. It's a possibility. But I don't think they'll sell well due to the fact that the Arteon is such a premium car already in like the mid 40s for like a decently equipped one. And I don't know. But if they come out, I swear, if they come out with the Tiguan R, which basically has the Golf R transmission, the Golf R 4Motion system. Another thing that I would hope for, all rights to Audi. So I'm hoping and praying that the Mark 8 Golf R will come with the 2.5. I hope that is true, considering that now Volkswagen owns Audi completely, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. I'm praying that the 2.5, because think about it, the 2.5 is in one car in the US, and that is the RS3. Not everybody wants a four-door car, especially one that's it's a small car, right? Imagine having one in a wagon. I mean, in a hatchback. Much more practical, a lot more space, and it'll just be all better, right? I would probably do what I can do going on, but if you guys can see me, I do apologize. I don't know what just happened, but YouTube kind of kicked me off. But can someone give me? Okay, so people are watching. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Ooh, I cannot wait to move in my apartment with better internet. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so yeah, so like I said, going back to what I was saying, the Mark 8 Golf R, if it does come with the 2.5 liter, if it does come with the 2.5 liter Audi engine, I think that's going to be a strong contender for Volkswagen, and I hope they do it, right? So that's my point on that. Larry Simpson said, oh, wait, Sabrina gave me a thumbs up. Brina's Beauty Secrets, thumbs up to you. Thank you very much. Larry Simpson said, what are some good car meets in the New York City area for us Mark 7 guys? Well, the problem is with coronavirus now, usually right now it's bad just because of the fact that all these meets get shut down because of coronavirus. We're not supposed to be near each other. We're not supposed to be. That's why all the shows got canceled, right? So normally every Thursday night, if there was no coronavirus, every Thursday night, Volts Nation, who is a big car community in the Volkswagen community, obviously Volts Nation, has a car meet in Astoria at the PC Richard and Sons parking lot on Steinway Boulevard in Astoria, Queens, every Thursday night at like 8 or 9 p.m. I usually go to those. Some meets in Long Island, Burger City meets and stuff like that. Also, not really too sure what other meets there are. I mean, there are some other meets in Queens. There's some in Canarsie Park in Brooklyn. I mean, the thing about the thing about these car meets is that it's just not really Volkswagens. It's a lot of every kind of car. That's so like New York is so diverse with people as well as the car community that pretty much meets are just meets. They're not for anything. They're not for just a specific car. So it's just to keep in mind too. And Stock Plus used to do meets a lot, but obviously like this year, everything's been put onto a halt, and things of that nature. Um, Sabrina asked, would the next car be a manual automatic? I know you have a manual for the Mark 7. Honestly, I don't know. The next car I do get, I kind of want my girlfriend Sasha to drive a little bit. If it is a manual, I wouldn't be so bummed out about her learning manual in a car that's used versus my car, with a $1,400 clutch in it. So, I'd rather her learn on an old car, and if the clutch just goes out, then it'll be very cheap to replace. But I'm not sure. I'm open to both options with the next car, though. Sean Wood said, Mini Cooper, John Cooper works. I know a lot of friends with Mini Coopers that just tell me don't go about it. I don't know if I don't think I'll get a Mini Cooper. But I actually did drive a 2020 John Cooper Works Clubman? No, Countryman with the barn doors in the back. Wow, is that thing freaking quick. I was very impressed with that car. I just hope that the reliability is the same as well. Guy Booth asked, what up JR14? Just got my DCAM clutch installed. Wondering how's that system holding up for you? It's been holding up great. I've had it in the car for about 8,000 miles now. The first one I had for about 44,000 miles, and it started to slip a little bit. I thought the slippage was because of the clutch, but it was actually due to the crank walk issue, and that was that. So no need to worry about the DCAM. A pretty solid platform, and you should be fine. Other options are South Bend, X clutches, but DCAM is pretty solid, and it's in my car, and I have no issues with it as of now. Mr. Nandin said Mark IV GTI 337. I don't know what the 337 stands for, or 20th AE for a daily. I was thinking about a Mark IV. I just don't know about it because it is such. Maybe so. Maybe it would be easy for me to find a Mark IV. But the problem with a Mark IV is I'm going to modify it, and I know I'm going to modify it, and I don't want to modify it. That's why I said the 5 Series, a little bit more grown up, a little less that I can do with it for fun, and I think it'll be just better off. But I'll keep that as an option, a Mark IV GTI. If I come across one, that's a good deal. Someone is the person's name. Get an SQ5. Give me SQ5 money. They all have timing issues, been down that road. N54 is the best. N54 is a very good engine. He's talking about me looking for the BMW. All of them have timing issues. N54 is the best. N54 is a really good platform. However, you got to go for water pump. You got to do a bunch of different things. It's not a matter of if the turbos fail, stock turbos fail. It's when they fail, and that is not an easy job to do, let alone it being a cheap install to do. And I literally looked at the ECS video on that, and that looked like a pain in the butt, so I don't even want to deal with it. Francisco I gotta say this correctly. Agostini, yeah, what's up, man? What's going on? Vasily, yo bro, is YouTube your full-time job? No, it's not. YouTube is not my full-time job as of now. I do this as a hobby. I enjoy doing it. That's why I have a full-time job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. On top of that, I have a girlfriend. On top of that, I have family and friends, and I still do this. So I really the good thing is I can really get a lot of people. I could do a lot. I can multitask, right? I can do a bunch of different things, and I really do enjoy doing YouTube. And where it's gotten me, and the people that I met, and the companies that I've worked with. It's just an absolute honor. That name, Hugo Boss. Hey man, I have no issues with my taillights. If you did the wiring harness and you did the lights, either one or two things. One, you didn't do the coding, and two, you probably wired something up incorrectly. You probably plugged it in the terminals where it's not supposed to be. Darrell Miles. what's my chances of my clutch lasting on stage one? Because there's so many mixed reviews. Depending on, well, Darrell, to be honest with you, it really just depends on the type of driving you do. Where are you located? Are you located more in a suburban area where there's more open road, or are you located like me in New York City, where there's a lot of, sometimes it's free in the roads, but sometimes it's stop and go traffic. So that really does depend on like what you're looking at, right? My suggestion to you is, if you have a manual, and that's for anybody here that has a that has a Mark 7 or Mark 7.5. If, and I repeat, if you have a manual Mark 7, Mark 7.5, you are planning to do stage one, put the money aside for the clutch job. You're going to need it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Again, it depends on your driving style. Some people, I know Medic Magic was able to get 66,000 miles or 70,000 miles, and the clutch started to slip on him, but I think he still has it. I don't think he did a clutch replacement yet. But yeah, like, yeah. So I would recommend getting the clutch replaced, or having the money to put the clutch to a clutch and keep it to the side. YNWAD Paggy, would you recommend the Golf R? I had this question yesterday on my Instagram, and I'll answer it again. Yes and no. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, what, Jay? You told me this, that, and third. You said you would never get a Golf R. Golf R is not worth it, blah. I did say that. I definitely did say that. Golf R is only worth it if you get it pre-owned. And the reason why I say that is because the price makes sense for a used one. For instance, my boy Aaron, who actually just traded in, I forgot where his WRX is, the one with the 2-liter in it, FA motor. He traded that in and got a Golf R for $26,000, and he got it for $26,000 and it had 22,000 miles on it. Manual trans, white, black interior. You cannot beat that. That is an awesome deal. Awesome deal. If you're buying a Golf R new versus a GTI new, it doesn't make sense, and I'll tell you why. My car is an SE. It's a 2017 Volkswagen GTI Mark 7 SE trim. It comes with the sunroof. It's got the lighting package. It's got Fender sound system. It's got the 6.5-inch screen, which is the biggest one you could have gotten that year, with Apple CarPlay and Android Audio. Right? The issue comes into play where literally you're going to be paying $40,000 for an R, versus my car, which I got out the door. I was able to negotiate on that car a little bit. GTIs you can get a better deal negotiating with. And I got my car for $30,600 out the door. So with taxes and everything. So literally that made much more sense to me than paying $42,000 for a new R. That's 11 grand to finance, plus the interest for 6 years adding onto it, or whatever the financing you're going to do on it is. Unless if you got just the bread to blow, which is amazing, which is nice. Let's see. Miles Logan, is No Hezzy cutting up as popular in New York as it seems online? Seems like everyone does it there. Miles, I don't like to bash other people. Listen, they found their niche for becoming very popular. And they did. They're much more popular than me. People follow them all around the world. I believe they have well over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Great. Problem. Most of these kids, and so you have Team No Hesitation. There's a new group that just started, which is like a little while ago, and they are called Team Mac Sauce. Now, all the people who in No Hezzy going in and out of lanes, cutting cars off, coming like inches between cars, almost smacking cars, this, that, and the third. I don't condone that. There's a way of driving fast, and there's a way of driving reckless. That is driving reckless. And then hitting someone, leaving the scene of an accident. Listen, I don't condone all that. That's just my thing. But I don't condone that. I mean, it's entertainment. If you wanted to get someone's entertainment, that's the way to do it. But you're not going to catch me doing videos of me cutting up in between cars and cutting cars off and almost causing accidents. It doesn't make sense. One, I have my insurance to look after. Two, it's wrong. Three, you could put someone else's life in jeopardy. And four, not everybody knows what they're doing behind the wheel. So that's what I have to say about that. I don't condone it because a lot of people like to follow other people and do stuff, but that's just not my thing. Um, let's see. Darrell Miles asks, yeah, Medic Magic Stage 2 now still on stock, still on the stock clutch. That's why I asked. Yeah, because he lives in PA and he doesn't have traffic. Traffic's non-existent in him. He lives in the country of PA, so literally, his shop is not far from his house. It's all back road driving. There's no stop and go. He doesn't drive the car as much. Oh, actually, I'm lying. He does drive the car a lot. Not as much as me, but he drives the car a lot. But I don't really know if I wouldn't recommend it. If you plan to drive the car hard, I would recommend getting it replaced, or at least putting the money aside to when it starts to slip, then you have the clutch in your house, or you have the money to order the clutch immediately. Mine happened 4 days after, literally 4 days after I had the car, clutch started to slip. What's the deal on, last question here is from Lightning Slow. What is the deal on a crank walk? Basically, in a nutshell, there's two thrust washers in the middle of the crankshaft. Over time, with the pushing of the clutch, you're actually pushing the crankshaft to where one of those thrust washers fails, and it'll fall into the oil pan, causing the crankshaft to move back and forth inside the block, eating the block away from the inside out. That causes metal shavings. That causes your oil pump to have starvation issues, which will then not grenade, but pretty much killing the look. What's the fix for that? There is no fix for it. Literally, the crank walk, everyone blames it on the thrust washers. There are no beefier thrust washers. I literally went with a built motor, and even on the built motor, they still use OEM thrust washers. Now, there's no guarantee that. Now, the reasoning why I'm not worried about it again, because it was such a small, out of all the GTIs, Golf Rs, and GTIs that were sold, very small quantity of numbers look like that they had that issue. Mine was, and it looks like they all seem to be involved in the same batch, meaning the same build period. So I don't know if there was something of quality that was changed, but I have new thrust washers in the car, OEM style, integrated engineering, built the bottom end. So I'm going with the peace of mind that I did everything right to make sure that this does not happen again. So I've only put 8,000 miles on the built motor so far. I've been loving driving the car. The car's been driving great. I've done 3 oil changes since then. I just, obviously to clear everything up and make sure that there's nothing in the oil pan, there's nothing in the oil that will deviate me from this motor eating itself apart again. I'm trying to decide between, so Miles Logan asks, I'm trying to decide between Bilstein B8s coupled with HR Sports Springs or just the New German Performance Type 1 coilovers. I didn't even know they made coilovers. I just don't think the Bilsteins would be low enough. Me, it's not worried about how low you can go. It's mainly about the lowness with drivability, right? So for me, I have H&R, and this kind of answers Miles Logan's next question. Right now, I have H&R. Coilovers on the car, and I don't have any dampening adjustments, and I don't have any preload. I mean, I have spring preload, and I have height. That's all I have. So for me, and I don't have camber adjustment. So for me, I'm coming to the limit of where I don't think I'm going to be running this setup much longer, just because of the fact that I need something that has camber plates. God knows I need camber plates. I need camber so I can dial in some more camber in the front, just a little bit, for rubbing issues and clearance issues. So I would love to do that. Also, Also, I want to add dampening. So when I'm on a track, I want to stiffen the suspension up easily. And then after I'm done with the track, I can soften the suspension to get a nice smooth ride to go home. I think the alternative suspension I probably will be going with is BC Racing, just because they offer all that for a cheaper price. And I believe the H&R coilovers that I have are the RSS Racing coilovers, and they're like $3,800 or $3,400 or something like that. I just don't have that right now. Lightning Slow said, thank you. You're very welcome. And the last question of the night before I get off of this live stream, Darrell Miles asks, do you have any meet and greet planned in the future in DE? What's DE? Delaware? Oh, you're in Delaware. I don't know yet. I really want to make sure that this coronavirus stuff, one, there's a cure. To like a lot of once these regulations start coming down, I really wanted to do one this year. I wanted to do a meet and greet with European Auto at their shop, so you guys can meet the team that built my car. You can meet the team if you need work done on your car. You can ask questions. You can inquire. You can meet some of the local teams, street teams that are around. Our RPM Street Team, OD Performance, Printco Rapid, which is right next door. YP Auto Detail. And yeah, so for me, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Hopefully by the end of the year, something happens, but I don't know. A lot of stuff is changing. A lot of stuff is not going the way I wanted to this year. A lot of stuff has been canceled. A lot of stuff has been postponed, and it's really freaking annoying. So that settles that. But guys, I've been over here for over an hour now. I'm about to get off this live stream. I hope that you guys did like this live stream. I hope that it was informative. I answered a lot of you guys' questions. I usually like to do these once a month. So my next month is my birthday month. So I'm really trying to crank out these videos, and I really want to get these subscribers up and high and these views high. So hopefully we can give myself a good birthday gift by getting out really good content, and also you guys watching it. So I'm excited. All right, so I need you to like this video if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to JR14. And you guys always remember with Project MK7, that seems like it'll never end with the engine build and all this stuff going on with the car. You guys always remember that cars are a lifestyle. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoy your evening, and make sure that you stay safe.